Kal Kadosh, Boker Or Bekiim Bahalacha, day 71, page 215. Halacha Aleph, this is how many Kaddishim do we do? Okay, so halacha number 1. Geonim, they taught that our daily prayers must include no less than 7 Kaddishim, based on the Pasuk, where it says, Sheva Bayom Ilalticha, I'm going to praise you 7 times. Okay, dailies. According to the Rizal HaKadosh though, you need 12 Kaddishim. 6 during Shachrit, 2 during Mincha, and 4 during Arvit. So the common custom is to recite a third Kaddish during Mincha, after the passage of Lamnatseach. So therefore we have 13, which is the 3 during the 3 daily prayers. Ashkenazic Jews also recite a Kaddish after Alenu Shabeach, since there are several Pesukim in there. And most Sephardic Jews don't do it. If you remember, the Moroccan Jews and Tunisians do also recite a half Kaddish after Alenu L'Shabeach. So therefore obviously we're going to have more Kaddishim. Look at number 380. The custom of the daily 7 Kaddishim is first recorded by the Shibboleh Leket cited by the Bet Yosef. According to the Rizal HaKadosh in the Kaf HaChaim, we have to do 12. That includes 6 during Kaddish. 1 before Hodu, 1 by Yotzer, 1 after the Amidah, 1 after Uvaletzion, 1 before Kaveh, right? And 1 before Alenu. During Mincha, we do 1 before Amidah and 1 after it. And during Arvit, we're also going to do 1 before the Shema and 1 before the Amidah, and 1 after the Amidah, 1 before Alenu. Okay? In many communities, a third Kaddish is recited during Mincha, right, between Lamnatseach and Alenu. That makes a total of 13, corresponding to the Yud Gimel Midot HaRachamim, 13 attributes of mercy. And the Kaf HaChaim adds that whoever worships with the joy and concentration, feeling a thrill for the powerful effects of each element of the prayers, is indeed fortunate. Okay? Okay. Besides reciting the Kaddish as part of the daily prayers, we recite the Kaddish of Yesh Lema after saying Torah Shebichtav. We say Al Yisrael after Torah Sheba'al Peh. It is incorrect to recite a Kaddish of Al Yisrael after Torah Shebichtav, and the common custom is to recite the Mishnah of Rabbi Chania ben Akashia Omer, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the end of the study of Torah Sheba'al Peh, and then you say Kaddish Al Yisrael. And this will be explained below in Halacha 46, where the rules regarding the mourner's Kaddish are presented. Look in 381. In the responsive of the Rambam ruled, Kaddish may be recited only at designated points of the prayers, after studying a passage with a Torah or commentary on it. We should not recite Kaddish after reciting a supplication, such as those composed by Rav Sadia Gaon. This is also brought down by the Acharonim, as brought down in the Kaf HaChaim. The Chesed Alafim added, therefore it's incorrect for Kaddish to be recited after a circumcision ceremony, unless it's prefaced by the Mizmor of Tehillim. Meaning you can't just say it. And that's what we do, by the way. We do Shira Ma'alot LeDavid, Eshtecha Kegefem Poriyah. Right? And then we after Kuf Kaf Chet. And then afterwards we say Kaddish. But we can't just say Kaddish for no reason. That's why we say the Kaddish. Okay? The common custom is for the congregation to say the Mishnah Rabbi Chaya ben Akashia Omer, and then afterwards you're going to say Kaddish to Rabbanan. Okay? And after the written Torah, they say Tshuat Tzadikim Hashem. Fine. Nowadays, the custom is to recite the verse of Tshuat Tzadikim Hashem after saying Mizmor Tehillim. We'd say Mitem Mitzion. Okay, that's our custom. Meaning our custom is Mitem Mitzion, Yishuat V'Shavut Ha'ekol Mikol Yisach Yisrael Kaddish Shlema. Fine. If there was less than 10 people present during the Torah learning lesson, but other people arrived afterwards, it is best to repeat some Divrei Torah that the group of before they come and they say the Kaddish, and that we already explained above. Halacha number 2. Just as we must avoid reciting unnecessary blessings, we cannot recite too many Kaddishim when it's unnecessary. Look at 382. The source of this ruling is a handwritten response from the Knesset Gdula. The response of Devar Shmuel likewise complained about those who repeat the Kaddish several times by breaking up a Torah learning session in several parts. Instead, he ruled that the group should recite 1 Kaddish for all of them, of all the Torah Shebichtav, and 1 Kaddish for all Torah Sheba'al Peh. The Kaf HaChaim Sofer added that this ruling, the Chesed Alafim and the Ben Ish Chai, also agreed with this, which means, imagine right now, they come, I'm going to give a Dvar Torah every 5 minutes, Rabbi Hanaya, Kaddish, Aywa, do 1 Dvar Torah, and that's it. Like, it doesn't make sense to continue doing all this, okay? And then it says, even so, if the group of people chanted a portion of the Torah Shebichtav and wished to recite Kaddish Shlema, and afterwards they studied Torah Sheba'al Peh together, they could say Kaddish Al Yisrael. And the same is true if they first studied Torah Sheba'al Peh and then Torah Shebichtav. Because in these cases, they're not guilty of doing another Kaddish because it's 2 different things that they studied. Meaning, it's not that I'm taking the same thing of Torah Sheba'al Peh or Torah Shebichtav and I'm splitting it up into many pieces to say more Kaddishim in the same Kaddish. No. I'm learning now Torah Shebichtav. So, for example, if we wanted to do Chok Yisrael, and right now we're learning the Torah, the Tanakh part. So we learn Torah, Chumash, and the Nevi'im, and now we want to do Kaddish Yesh Lema, we're allowed to. Then we're going to learn the Zohar and Mishnayot and Gemara and Musar and Halacha. Now we could do Kaddish Alisel. There's no Isur in that. But for me to come and do the Torah and I do Yeshlema, then I'm going to come and learn a little bit of Mishnayah. Kaddish Alisel. Then I'm going to learn a little bit of Gemara. Kaddish Alisel. That's wrong. Because then I'm splitting up. Therefore, in some communities, the custom is to recite Kaddish Alisel after a Torah study session and then to recite a psalm of Tehillim followed by Kaddish Shlema. And this is also the common practice during the nights of Shavuot and Hoshana Rabbah. Let's just do the last footnote where it says the half Kaddish before Arvit. Based on the above, the Halacha Brura ruled that when a congregation joins a Torah learning session in the evening following Arvit, once they recite Kaddish Alisel at the conclusion of the learning, they should not say a half Kaddish before Arvit. Instead, they should just start right away. Meaning, if you just did the Kaddish before, let's say between Mincha and Arvit, so we just did Kaddish Alisel because we had a Dvar Torah. So now you can't start again another Kaddish because what's that? Meaning, if you're just coming and starting Arvit, okay, so you do a Kaddish. But if you already just did, in fact, this was the daily practice of Rishon LeZion. Yalkut Yosef testified. Nevertheless, it is difficult to understand the connection between this issue and the halacha to avoid repetition of Kaddish unnecessarily. That halacha applies to people who repeat the same Kaddish for the same purpose. In this case, the first Kaddish was Torah Sheba'al Peh, and the second half Kaddish was connected to Arvit. So it's no worse than doing one for Torah Sheba'al Peh and one Torah Shebichtav. Yes, always. You start Kaddish. Yeah, before V'urachum. Right? We do Shira Ma'alot, Kaddish, V'urachum, and Barachu. So that's Kaddish. So apparently the opinion of the Ran Rishon LeZion was that since the group recites the first Kaddish only moments before the Arvit, the one Kaddish can serve both purposes. And this is likewise the opinion of Mordechai Sharabi and Rabbi Tzion Abba Shaul as well. This ruling applies when the congregation continues after the Kaddish directly into Arvit. If there's an interruption, they should recite the half Kaddish before beginning Arvit. Rav Meir Mazuz issued a similar ruling regarding Arvit on Friday evening. After the rabbi's Torah lecture, the cantor should go directly to the half Kaddish preceding Baruchu. If people in the congregation insist on reciting Kaddish of Alisrael after the lecture, they should schedule another section of the prayers, such as Lechul Nana or Shira Shirim, and then they're going to do Kaddish. Meaning that they have to do it in such a form that they're not coming and just like, again, adding in Kaddishim. And then obviously tomorrow we'll continue as Hashem.